shine, get up and go. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of coffee or hot cocoa. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of Java or espresso. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Tina Valentina is the host, you see. She's as classy as she can be. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club show. I say rise and shine, get up and go. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Another cup of Java or espresso. Another cup of coffee or hot cocoa. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday. Tina Valentina here with a very low voice. So the show is going to be directed by Steve Loehlein, who is from the opera group, Long Island Opera. Thank you, Steve. He's my voice
welcome
today. Even though I'm feeling a little better, I have to be careful, and I can't talk too much, and that's hard for me. But I'm going to be quiet. So thank you for coming today.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to be the voice of Valentina.
So it is, though, my grandson Kyle Lavella's birthday today. He's 18.
Happy birthday.
And it is also Gracie Matranga's birthday, who is a beautiful lady who sings Italian songs for us all the time. And it is National Chocolate Chip Day, so everybody goes home with chocolate chips and Italian bread because we break bread on the show.
Thank you, Valentina.
All right, so that's all I'm going to say. Stevie, take it away.
Hold on, I'm passing that down to Jennifer. And
we're good.
well, I'm going to say welcome, and we have some great guests, and we're going to start with a lovely lady, Debi, Toni. And we are promoting Debi Toni because she is doing a show, and it is Double Trouble.
Now, are you double trouble?
I am in many, many ways.
I love your blue. It's one of my favorite colors.
Thank you. It is one of mine also.
And you're bubbling, just like the article says. What does it say?
Bubbling blonde from Babylon.
BBB.
What do you think of that?
That could be, we could be calling it something else too. BBB. Could be good, it could be bad, it could be about, you know what? Or it could be about something else. So, but you look great.
Thank you. I feel great. I'm
What's
so happy to be here.
the name of the theater?
So it is at a cabaret club called Don't Tell Mama. Oh, I see you have the flyer already.
There you
There
are.
it is.
Yeah, it's you know, the cabaret is not popular on Long Island, but it is very popular in the city, and there's not as many places. And I actually premiered in 1986 at a cabaret called called the what is the name of that? Paulson's. It doesn't exist anymore. And then in 2018, I did another cabaret at the Triad Theater, and now I'm back to Don't Tell Mama. And Don't Tell Mama is the oldest cabaret club in Manhattan.
So there's other kinds of acts that go on there, obviously.
Yes, if you go to their website, which is Don't Tell Mama New York
Look
City,
at all the
NYC.
things. Wow.
Now, are you going to be doing classics, or are you doing your own music, your
So-
own compositions, your own act?
Okay, all of that.
Okay, that's what we
I'll
want to
give you a
hear.
little taste. It is my style is a Broadway pop, you know, the new Broadway, and old standards. Those are my favorite things to do, and I put a twist to everything. I never do anything the way it's supposed to be, and I do change the lyrics to add my own story inside the songs. So you will have medleys, for example, a song from Nonsense. And a song from from this musical Smash, an old musical, a new musical, smashed together. So it's going to be entertaining because I tell some stories about my life, and my life is entertaining.
And
Now,
you
in the
also,
notes,
yeah.
oh, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead, I'm
Valentina.
sorry.
In the notes, it says you do quite a quick patter, a lot of quick patter.
I do. There's patter in the songs.
What is
and
patter?
Patter is when you speak. That's all it is. That's all patter is. So you can have patter between the songs or in the songs. And I changed the lyrics to some of the songs to be like thank yous to the people that are doing the show, or to tell about, so I say at one point, when we began the show at a very early age, I had to choose between locations, because my mom lives in Florida and I commute, or a life upon this stage. So when Jane Seaman says, she's my director, you need a solo show, I tell you, I was thrilled to death. I knew I had to go, and then I go into another song. So
Nice.
Well, you just did part of your show.
I just
right
did a
now.
little sample for you.
You got some beautiful
Now your
voice.
accompanist is a pianist.
He is Stephen Ray Watkins. He actually was a vocalist on his own. He did solo shows and stuff, and he's a wonderful guy. He worked with me really well. We only had like two rehearsals before we went into the recording studio.
Wow.
And he's new to me. We just met through this association called MAC, Manhattan Artists of Cabaret. There was a called MAC to School, and I took a class and a course, and I went in, and he played for me. So that's how we met, because it's about doing things differently, and well,
You're different.
that's me.
I love your hair.
Thank you, came out good
Very
today.
pretty. Yes, I like it. Yes.
This weather
So
was
what's with the
crazy.
with the dot? Is this something
I've
mean
had this
anything?
well, I wanted it for at least. You have one too?
She's bubbling.
See?
She's glistening.
I
right
wanted
too.
it for about 20 years before I got it. I was my husband didn't want me to have one, so we got rid of him. And then I was teaching in high school, and I was like, it's not really appropriate. But now, but as soon as I was let go in 2008, I got it. So I got it in 2008.
Well, I think it's
And I love
adorable.
it.
I couldn't do
Thank
it, but
you.
you look good.
I have a tattoo.
Oh,
Also.
where is it? Oh, you can't say.
Well, I wanted to get a butterfly so I can say "kiss my butterfly," but it's a rose.
Well, then
Very
that would have
nice.
been the bubbling blonde.
Butterfly.
Fly.
but
I was
definitely
leading her
doing
on
this.
that one.
Okay.
I admit.
I'm gonna go get it.
so now you also worked in the schools,
I did. I worked in Lindenhurst High School, which was my alma mater.
which is unreal. So do you know Jerry Ferretti?
I know Jerry. Gosh, I'm trying to
Because
remember.
Jerry's the filmmaker that I
Yeah.
did a movie with.
I auditioned for Bridge the Gap at the South Shore Theater Experience, and that's still there. It's on Wood Avenue in Lindenhurst. And it was Bridge the Gap, his first play, which was it's a musical actually that he wrote.
Yes.
And I played the wife, and he had done other things. I did the Mark. I appeared with
Yes,
Crooked with
in
you.
the Mark.
So
Yes.
there's other things that we had done. So that's how you and I met.
Yes, in
through
Crooked, in the bathroom.
In the bath, you remember?
It was a bathroom scene. No, I'm serious. We met in the bathroom. And I was a little nervous, and you were very nice. And we were the good doobies in the film. We weren't the bad people.
Yes.
And so we were sticking up for each other, and that's how we met. And what, it's 3 years already? 4
Really?
years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Debbie, I always think it's important. You got your bachelor's and your master's in performance from Five Towns.
Yes. It's
And,
actually
but that
music.
was there was a gap in between. Is
A
that
lot
correct?
of gap. Oh, yeah.
You were performing
okay.
and then you went back to school.
I
It's very
did.
encouraging, actually, when
It
I
really
read my
is.
notes.
Yes.
So what happened was I went to school for acting at Adelphi University,
Mhm.
and I thought all those actors were too weird. As crazy as I am, I'm very down to earth. That's a problem. See, I'm a walking contradiction. So I quit college and I went to school in New York City at Herbert Berghoff, where Uta Hagen was, and I did dance, everything there. I worked with a lot of stars, Donna McKechnie, Aaron Frankel. I got to meet a lot of people, and my career took off a year later.
Wow.
So I performed for a long time, cruise ships, a lot of musical theater, Toni and Tina's weddings.
So now, were you married when you were doing the cruise ships?
Of course not.
No.
You see, that's
She
what
says
happened.
with great disdain, I might add.
Oh.
This is why I went back to school. My husband said, if you take the job in Lake George, I was supposed to do the whole cabaret
Oh,
circuit
sure.
there, I won't be here when you get back. And I only dated him for 3 months. I should have said, sayonara, but I didn't. So I left show business and
him.
I left it for him, but I went back to school. So, everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
I became a teacher. All the bad kids loved me. And then I was let go. Yes.
Why were you let go?
In 2008, there was a big surge of teachers that were let go, and then I was in the arts, so you know.
Arts.
The art teacher got let go, then the
First,
music
yeah.
teacher, and then they started letting go the other subjects. But I only taught in Lindenhurst for 2 years, which was really sad. And then I returned in 2013 for after-school programs. That's how I met Leanne Piekos. I did Piano for Dreamers. I wrote a piano course.
Wow.
So I taught adult ed. I also taught ESL, which was amazing, English as a second language.
Which is a great little income now.
I was learning how to
People do
speak
that a lot,
fluently. The guys laughed at me in class because he couldn't find his seat. And I said, and he's talking in Spanish to his buddies. I said, just sit down. This happens every time with you. And they all laughed because I understood what he was complaining about. So I love doing ESL. But I think my favorite thing was teaching the adults and then doing the musicals. with the
Sure.
kids.
Well, you can
Love
see you
doing
love what you
musicals.
do.
I do.
So the play, what's it about? About you?
So it is about me. It's stories integrated in between the songs about my life and about how I left. You know, everybody wants to know, were you on Broadway? Well, I was 1 block away from Broadway. Well, I did have an off-Broadway credit that went to Broadway, but I left to teach. I left for love, and then I ended up teaching. But I don't think any student I've had, except maybe 1 or 2, wanted as bad as me. So it's time for the comeback. I'm ready. I don't
So
have any
now
distractions.
you're divorced, obviously, a long time.
Oh yeah, 10 years.
So since the
Ish.
divorce, your career picks up.
It's now, you know, we had COVID, we had a change, we had a move or 2 or 3 or 4. But I'm settling now and I'm getting back to myself.
And you
so.
seem like you're so much happier. And I saw you
am.
in the bands. I didn't know you were in a
That's right.
band.
I did
went
back
to
up
somewhere
for
and I saw
Elvis.
this lady singing with Elvis. I'm like, I know her.
That was fun. I was making it up on the spot.
And you were doing all these kinds of things.
Yes, I was. I
Yeah.
do movement very well. I do
Yes.
choreography too.
So I said to Susan, because Susan was with me, I'm like, that's that lady. And that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was actually 3 years ago. I
Yes,
think.
yes.
Yeah.
You
that-
also do some Christmas show.
Oh my gosh, my Christmas show this year with Leanne Piekos was so much fun. Oh look, can I show the CD?
Yes, yes.
I go like this, Valentina.
There you go. Wow. It says here, Debbie and Toni. Debbie, Toni, and the Gift of Christmas, Merry and Bright. Very, very nice.
Yeah, so it was.
thank you.
I
This was
had
very
other
nice of her.
people in that show with
I
me.
saw that on YouTube.
You did? Oh my gosh, you guys really checked me out. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
check
just
it all
me.
out.
I had to
Guys.
take the notes.
That's my first album, actually.
Wow,
You can have
congrats.
that. That's
Well, on
yours.
that
That's
note,
yours.
let's have a toast.
Oh yes.
Everybody, we have some wine here.
Thank you.
Here.
Oh,
Go
a
ahead.
little
That's
sip.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Switch. Okay. Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salute.
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 Okay, I haven't drunk since church. I hope this goes well.
So you're just having a blast. How long is the play? How many hours?
Oh, it's only an hour.
Is there steps or is it 1 floor?
Oh, there's no stairs. You'll
Good.
be happy. Oh, wait, I lied. You have to go down.
Down?
4 steps.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
And that's it. Okay.
Okay.
And then when you get in, it's nice and spacious.
Great.
You know, these cabarets are very tight. Not
No,
my,
I know, I've been
not
there.
my room. My
I've been
room
to a
is
cabaret,
big.
so I haven't in a while. So
I just want to emphasize that the show is tomorrow evening
Yes.
at 7 p.m.
and
Yes.
and
Sunday?
on Thursday, May 22nd.
Correct.
And the last show is Sunday, June 1st.
And we're
so
going to that
mark
one.
your calendars.
we're
Save
going
the
to
dates.
that one. We're going to the Sunday.
By that one, I'll be really good.
That's your and
I'm
that's
sure
your
you'll be
last
amazing
show.
tomorrow.
And if anybody wants to join the Breakfast Club on June 1st, we'll be meeting there, right outside somewhere by the theater. I'm sure there's a place where we'll have coffee or something.
Yes. There's a restaurant right next door, and you can go in if you got there early. Wow, this wine is really good.
Isn't that
Valentina.
good? I love wine. Well, here we also have M&Ms here.
Oh my God! Oh,
have some
you have any
candy.
green ones? We still look for the green ones.
Yeah,
But
have
who's
a
my
cookie,
favorite
anybody?
color?
No, no, thank you.
Wow, don't say no
We
to
always
anything.
eat
Where
and
are the
drink.
M&Ms now? Somebody.
Yeah,
Leanne gave us-
M&Ms, yeah.
Leanne
There
gave us
they
sugar.
are.
Can you
There you
imagine?
go.
That's so crazy.
So
Good for
anyway,
her.
this is great. So
Oh.
before we speak to Jennifer
Wanna
and
do
talk
this?
a little more about you, you met because you were in the industry together, but you were had your own album.
Right. We weren't in the industry together. I was in the industry with my ex-husband, but he was my husband at the time.
Another ex.
Another ex. That's the way it goes.
Bad track record.
Jen, what do you think of all these women with these exes?
I'm in my love bubble and very happy.
Oh, good for you.
Happy
Stay in
for
love
you.
bubble.
We love
Very-
love.
Yes.
We're not jaded.
So
Maybe.
yeah. So you were with your ex how long?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How long were you married?
Oh, 37 years.
And in a relationship with music and career.
Yes, we sang together. We were
wow.
up in the Berkshires,
Love the
Norman
Berkshires.
Rockwell area, Lee Lennox Stockbridge.
I
We
used
lived
to
in
work at
Lee.
the Berkshire Choral Festival,
Oh,
Berkshire Choral Institute.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, my ex was from the Berkshires, and so we started singing together down here. We actually met in college, but kept in touch after he left college and I stayed in. And I got a degree from Hofstra in theater performance and a minor
Wow.
in tech. And then I met a wonderful lady from Massapequa, Virginia Murphy, and she was my vocal coach. And I studied with Glevsky, so I was like a triple threat, acting, singing, dancing. And I did some summer stock out at the Gateway Theater and everything. But
Love that place.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I've been there.
We
I
go
got-
every summer.
Yeah.
Okay,
I went out
reason-
there for Applause. And the first show was Butterflies Are Free. Another butterfly thing. My thing is butterflies. And the girl that was the lead, Goldie Hawn's part, didn't show up. So they asked me to audition. They said, "You are auditioning," and I said, "Oh yeah," and I got the part. So
congratulations.
Yes, I know. It was the best thing. It really was. I got good reviews, and I met Jerome Robbins there because I was jobbed in for Applause to be an actress, singer, and dancer. Well, when I got the lead in the other, I didn't have time to be in the chorus, but they left one little vignette for me to do with Eddie Nelson and Jeanette MacDonald, him in the Bounty, Canadian Bounty outfit. And it's just 2 lines, and I sang it, "When I'm Calling You, Will You Love Me True," the song, right?
Of course.
But when I was leaving, because there were other shows and I was only jobbed in for those 2, Jerome Robbins came up to me and said, "If you ever need my help," that's my only regret in life. I never went to him.
Oh,
Come
Leanne.
see me in the city. I know.
we
I
have
know.
stories.
Big mistake.
Well, that's because I started singing with my
Yes.
ex at that
Oh,
point.
right. So now
Yeah.
you had a good run with your ex for a while.
Yes, we put out 8 tracks, cassettes. We did 45s and about. My husband wrote the songs, and he wrote a song about the town of Lee. It was its 200th anniversary. We're buried in the time capsule somewhere to be opened up at some date in the future. And then we did an album of all original songs. We had thousands of people on our mailing list. We sent out like a TV guide, penny saver
Wow.
type newspaper, and we just sang all over.
Original
And we-
music, right? Yeah.
Yes, and then we had a Saturday morning radio show on 4 stations up there, covering Vermont and Berkshires and also New York State, and then we had a cable TV show as well. So we went all over the place, and we had near misses. Every time our ship came in, the dock wasn't there.
But you were in Tennessee? Where were you?
We moved to Tennessee after that. Yeah.
So that's real country.
yes. It
Country
was
forward,
very
you had fun
country.
there, I'm sure,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
But you
we
were
did.
doing something that you enjoyed
Yes.
together and did
And
a lot
making
of
a
it,
living at
and
it, and
making
making
a
a
living
good
out
living
of it.
at
Correct.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were really happy.
That's unreal.
And now the artistry is still there, but you're segueing over to public relations. Is that correct?
I have done public relations, to make a living afterwards and all, but I'm actually segueing in, leaving all these other jobs behind, but I'm segueing into performing with Debi.
Oh,
How
so you're going to
wonderful.
start performing together. That's
Two
yes.
wonderful.
good friends.
I'm taking the blame for that.
Oh.
So the part that you're missing is we met because I was Leanne's piano teacher
Correct.
at that high school, Piano for Dreamers, and she was my student. She became my #1 student, and then she became my assistant. And then
Wow.
last year I said, Leanne, I want you to become a Christmas caroler with me.
And we have a
And
picture
that's
of
what
you
we have.
guys.
And it's beautiful.
Beautiful
And
picture of you guys
She
up
did
there.
a wonderful job, and then I said, well, I want you to be in the Christmas show. Okay, so now she's hooked. Did I
you
tell
love
it
it.
okay? Yeah.
Yes, I love it, and we're going to be performing a Christmas show again, and I'm going to get it in all the libraries.
Oh, well, we'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
there. We'll be
Yes.
coming.
Yes, because a
That-
lot of them have the
Have a
full
good
theaters and the
Christmas show.
stages. So
Yes,
it'll
very,
be
very
great.
nice.
Yeah.
So no you're happy. You're no going back. You're just moving forward.
I'm just moving forward. It's time. I was working like 4 jobs at one point. So now I'm working 1 part-time job at 1 library, but this is now I have the time to devote to this, and it's like I can't wait any longer.
So it's your passion, and you're
Yeah.
pursuing that.
Yes.
I love your line. Debbie plucks at your heartstrings with the tender hopefulness of "I Still Believe in Love," the song,
Yes.
and the tears that come from her eyes. We can't wait to see this show.
It's a ride. There's a lot of
really-
emotion. You're gonna laugh.
You
You might
saw-
cry.
You soar like an angel with bell-like tones, and you can gravel and belt with the head and the chest tones. You're a great PR writer. My God, I'm
Thank
gonna need you.
I was
Thank you.
Yes.
impressed. Yes.
I love the review you gave her. I sent it everywhere in the last week. I don't know if you noticed.
It was so heartfelt, and she did a preview show, and that's what I was basing it off of. And the people there, while I was sitting there, because they were all behind me and I was filming, I just kept thinking to myself, my God, this applause is enthusiastic. It was like at the end they couldn't
Yeah.
wait to clap. It was really wonderful.
Now,
and
can
she
you drink
was so
in the
wonderful.
show or no? Do they?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I should drink.
But I also like the way you described the double edge.
The
how that-
double-edged sword.
The double-edged sword slays her past heartaches and lost loves with the laugh out loud humor
You
of
gotta-
upbeat songs like
guys.
Air Conditioner.
Yes, do you
Oh,
know
that's a
the
good
song?
one.
No, I don't.
Oh my God, you're in for such a treat. The
That's-
first time I heard
That's
it,
why I
was
wanted to
like,
highlight that, because
Oh
I
my
wanted
gosh.
an explanation on Air Conditioner.
Well, I can sing one line. It'll give it away, though. All you need's an air conditioner, and you are the man, you are the man, you are the man, you are the man for me. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da.
Great.
There are so
Can't
many
wait.
great
wait.
lines in that song. You cannot help but laugh out loud. You
Okay.
just, especially the first time you hear it. It's
So,
hysterical.
Jennifer, what do you think of all this? Now
I'm
we're going to talk
excited
to
to go
Jennifer. You guys should come with us, meet us there. Really.
Yeah.
So let's talk
Definitely.
about you, honey. You look. We have a beautiful picture of you up there, and we have a
Thank
big
you.
event coming up for you. Let's talk about this. 3 weeks ago, you were in the hospital.
Well, now it's been like about 7, weeks or so. I remember I had my birthday, and I was celebrating, and I'm a bartender, and we were able to have this great birthday. It was New Orleans themed. Everybody had a great time, and for a little bit though, I wasn't always feeling the best. I had my heart transplant. Just a little backstory now. Knock on wood, I'll have it 29 years, July 6th.
Wow.
So that's been sort of my life. And at that point, I was 13. My parents made the decision for me to get my transplant. I ended up getting sick very quickly and having cardiomyopathy, which is just a disease that you get
Yes.
luck of the draw.
It's in a lot of movies.
Yes,
too.
and I got a virus. I went to cardiac arrest, and from that, they were able to see that I had an enlarged heart. And thank goodness there was actually a doctor on call at a certain hospital that was able to get me to Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, where I waited for 3 months and a day and received my gift on July 6, 96, from a young boy named Matthew. And after that, it was sort of my decisions my parents made. You know, I had this transplant, I was on all this prednisone, I'm on all these drugs now. I kind of blew up like a marshmallow, and my whole life, though, it's very sad because even back then they told my parents that the life expectancy of a transplant is 5 to 7 years. And my parents were just happy to have that extra time. I think that's what a lot of it's about when you get sick as a transplant patient, especially when I'm older now. It's not really thinking that you're going to live to be 80, 90 years old even. It's living the quality of life now that you have in the years you're given. So it's like these bonus years.
So now let's talk about the Brannon. Who's Brannon? Brannon said
Oh,
the
so-
reunion that when she felt she gained a daughter, she met you.
So my donor, I have pictures. Actually, my boyfriend got these framed for me, so now they look really pretty. But this was my donor, Matthew.
Oh.
God, that's
He was 14 years old, and I was 13 when I got the transplant.
Oh my God.
See,
So Brannon, she
Is his
said
mother.
his mother said she felt like she got a donor,
And this is the first
and
thing
she said my Matthew was in there when she met. you."
Yes.
Yeah, the first
Look at
thing.
that.
This is us when we met, and she did. The first thing she did was place her heart against my chest, And throughout my life, there's been a lot of ups and downs. And, you know, for me, as I said, I just found love 8 months ago. So I'm very happy. And the universe really, I believe, made that happen.
And Ron, her boyfriend, is the most lovely man sitting here, promoting her, sitting with her, getting her drink, and driving her here. So, unfortunately, you had a little setback a few weeks ago.
For a couple of years now, I'd say like 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with coronary artery disease, which is something that's very common in transplant patients. The medicine they give us to help us ends up destroying something else in us, but it's like a catch-22. You have no choice to have the life you have. And I went from Columbia Presbyterian Hospital to Northwell Hospital about 3 years ago, and there they gave me my first stent, so now I have 3 different stents, and they're trying to keep this heart going. But it had been a talk a few years ago about relisting and getting a second heart transplant and kidney transplant, but I was always very, you know, this heart to me, like doctors talk about it, I think it's easier for them sometimes to say, we're going to get you this transplant. For me, it's a soul. There's a young boy that's heart this is too, and it was very hard for me to be okay with that, even when I talked to my donor mom and kind of have to tell her what was happening. But throughout, as time progressed, you know, my heart started to get worse and my kidneys started to get really bad just because of the medication. And a few weeks ago, my kidneys were kind of teetering on dialysis, not on dialysis, and I ended up going into septic shock because I ended up just with a common cold, but I had a case of pneumonia too with that, and from there my kidneys just kind of went
But look at how good you look.
back.
You
And
can't tell.
yeah,
amazing.
So
I
now-
didn't realize like how sick I was either. My legs were really swollen. Like I wore this shirt purposely just to show you could see this is my catheter, and you could actually see where the wire like goes into the heart, and this is my dialysis port now. I wasn't going to be able to do the show almost just because I was supposed to get a fistula, which is more of a permanent IV status for dialysis when you're waiting, but it ended up that it was canceled for different reasonings, and my doctor just felt it wasn't okay to put me under the anesthesia right now. And I'm really right now just in the process of hoping to get relisted at Northwell and get this second transplant. And it's just sort of something where it's a lot of chapters. I look at my life like chapters in a book, and I try to just look at it like my mom's always like daily, because anytime I look too far ahead, like something else happens. Like even with this, I'm set for a fistula. That changed. I go to these doctors, and at this point, sometimes they don't even know why they're seeing me, but they have to see me as part of transplant protocol. So I have to almost just give it up. And for me, it was
Just
the
live
hardest.
every day, right?
Yeah, live it every day. And I think the
And
hardest
she's
part
so positive.
for me was not like my nephrologist was the one that really sat down with me and held my hand and said, Jen, Matthew doesn't want you to die with this heart. It's not the end of your story. And Ron was with me, and I think that was the time where it really just clicked. Like I need to figure this out.
And mind you, during all of this, you're working.
Well, right now I'm not working.
Now you're not.
What you
No,
were
I'm
up
not
until
working
you
You
just
were
got sick.
working up
Yeah.
to a certain point.
I worked up until I worked my birthday party. We had a great time, and then I ended up in the hospital like
What's the
couple
name of the
days
place where
later.
you work?
Whiskey Reds.
Whiskey Reds, and there used to be
East Meadow, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, used to be one in West Hempstead years ago. You know?
Yeah, it was.
I
And
used to go there.
They're very nice. I mean,
It's
right
fun.
now everybody's very supportive. As you said, my friends planned this event for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm really just happy to see everybody because it's sort of like I went to school for social work. That really didn't pan out. I never got to use it. As we talk about, life just kind of happens. And I actually did my internship though in a dialysis unit, so I kind of had a little
Oh my God.
insight to it. But my whole life has just kind of been transplant, and
But it's full.
yeah, I
Her
have.
life is full of people that love her so
Yeah,
much.
I feel like I have a village, and I just want to live my life and get this retransplant. That's why it's so hard. I'm just trying to get, like I said, it's just figuring out certain things to get listed at Northwell. I would be their first retransplant, so it'd be kind of a big thing. And
Oh yeah,
I found love, and there's things I just want to live my life. I'm only 42, and
she's a baby.
I'm hoping that I've had this hard, even though the average now, we were just at, my boyfriend and I, at the support group meeting, and right now the average after transplant is only 13 years.
Really?
Wow.
So that's, I know how fortunate I am,
Yeah.
and I know that Matthew carried me this far, and that was, like I said, one of the hardest things to give up.
Mm-hmm.
So
saying
what
that
could anybody
I'm
do?
doing this.
Like let's say somebody's just watching and they're like, well, how can I help Jennifer? Other than coming to the fundraiser.
Really,
Right.
if I always ask people the question, and one of my friends sort of brought this up back in the day and would say to people in a room if we're speaking, and just say, are you a registered organ donor? and would you accept an organ if you needed one? And everybody's hand goes up. Who's gonna say no? I don't want my life saved. But then when you actually ask people, are you a registered organ donor?
They say nothing.
They say nothing, or they kind of look all over the place.
Like,
So
what do I
it's-
say
it's-
when I'm really not?
Yeah, so it's sort of one of those things where if you're willing to receive a gift, you should think about being
Giving
able to
it.
offer a gift too. And because again, it's something where I'm not the person, like I go and I speak, and I've been very lucky to be a part of a lot of organizations and different things throughout my life. But I'm not going to lock you in a room and say you need to be an organ donor. I live my
Well,
life
it's
the
not
way
for
I do.
everybody. Yes.
And
exactly.
I explain my story and hope that they see that it could happen to anybody. I mean, I was 13. I didn't do anything in my life. I just got sick. And there's so many people out there. And in New York, we have the lowest number of registered organ donors with the highest need.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
people could wait in a hospital. I always explain to people, think about not being able to leave your house for a year. Like I know during COVID how it was for everybody. Think about being in a hospital attached to wires and you're waiting for somebody sadly to pass away.
Yeah.
And
The other thing is I never knew about, which I saw recently, is that when an organ donor dies, there's a parade.
there's a beautiful
Talk about
ceremony.
that. Did you know about
Yes,
that?
yes.
Yes, it's a
It's
beautiful
really nice.
ceremony, and they have a lot of times the family will be there, and they play music, and they do
I've
things
seen it.
that
It's
would be
very
very
emotional.
It is.
thing for the donor and the donor family. And I'm actually part of an organization, Long Island Trio, that we do a donor ceremony every year at Eisenhower Park. We have a rose garden there, and it's to thank the donor families and the living donors for giving that gift. Because I was very fortunate to meet my donor mom, but we also met years later, which I think was the best thing for both of us. We met on February 14, 2015, which is Valentine's Day, National Donor Day. I mean,
Wow.
you can't get more with the hearts. Like it was just a beautiful thing, and I hope to, because I always say when, because I'm not that person that hopes. Like when I get my second transplant, I hope to be able to meet my next donor family. And
Which
just
would
say
be
thank
That is
wonderful.
awesome.
And hopefully we'll be around that day.
Yeah.
One of the things I see that you've written, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right.
So it's kind of ironic that my friends made this flyer, and we went to Jamaica not long ago, and it ended up just kind of working that they picked that, and then we were in Jamaica, and we even have something I think that says that.
Do we have a flyer we
picture
could show, Bobby, for the upcoming event? The
of
flyer?
us in Jamaica, and we have the photo frame has that on it, so everybody just kind of came together.
There it
Oh,
is.
so is that something that they all made up for you? or did
Yeah,
you
well,
do
that's a
that?
Bob Marley song, and
Okay.
they
June 8th.
kind of,
right.
I think, just made that up for me. But then we had also just gone to Jamaica recently, and the frame has it on it, so everything just comes together.
And have you
And-
done any writing about all of your experiences?
You need a book, honey.
I know my mom
I
always
think you
says
should.
that.
Time for your book. You gotta talk to
My mom always
Valentina.
says that. I can barely type though text messages correctly
All
with
you
my
have to
phone.
do, every
But-
day you need to write a sheet, put it in the drawer, and then you
Yeah.
call me.
Yeah, so
now
that's
you've got
the thing.
AI. AI can help
That's
you
true.
through that.
I mean, I just want people to know they're
Look
not
at how
alone.
beautiful they look.
Yeah, that was at the
Oh,
American
that's great.
Heart. I was lucky to be
So
one of the
pretty.
2025 American Heart class of survivors.
Look at her,
Oh
always
yeah,
in red.
that's me with our dog Muffin. We were going to the dog park. Everything is just more
She's such
precious
a happy
now.
person.
Yes, of course.
If that makes sense, I've always been that way,
Now,
but
who's that?
everything's just precious. That's my donor mom.
She's your
Yes.
donor mom, yes.
That's Ellen.
Such great memories.
That's my
really.
donor mom, Vicky.
Vicky.
Beautiful, really beautiful.
I think people just, like, everybody has their daily task and their daily things, but even just waking up and not being in a hospital, to me, I really don't have any goal in life
Count
right now.
the
I say,
small
but staying
things.
alive,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, of course.
honestly. That's my goal. I stay alive and try the best, but it's just, I'm a big Disney person.
Yes,
and
you always were.
I was supposed to go to Disney, actually, the day before I got hospitalized. It was a little bit
All right,
messed
so
up
now
thing.
last question, and then we're gonna go back to Toni, but when did you meet this lovely Mr. Ron?
I met lovely Mr. Ron in September.
And how?
Facebook dating.
There you go.
Oh,
So it does work.
wow.
Today is the anniversary of Disney.
Anniversary of Disney.
1956 in
Okay.
California.
Yeah, the original, the OG.
Today.
Well, Ron, I'm glad you took that plunge and you answered that thing on the computer.
Yeah, I put it out there.
Yeah.
You swiped right.
And I bet you guys just connected immediately.
Pretty much.
That's kind of what happened. It was like we were dating.
Now
when
you're
we
both
first met.
Italian, right?
I'm Italian and Irish, and he's Italian and Greek.
Yeah, well, it's a great mix.
Together we're Italian.
Was it geographically?
I mean, we did live very close to each other
We did.
too,
Oh,
And you
good.
didn't know each
and now
other.
we live with each other. Yeah.
We had a person, and the way Facebook works is that it's actually very helpful. It tells you the people you have a mutual friends.
And you're
in
nearby.
common. It takes your profile from your profile and just ports it over to Facebook dating. So it takes all the information and just puts it. So we have one friend in common that we knew.
That we knew very
I
differently.
worked with her as a police. I'm a police officer. I worked with her. She's a police officer, but she's also a yoga instructor.
Oh,
And
how
I knew
funny.
her from
That's
the
her
yoga
world,
studio.
The yoga.
So
like
you-
she
What a
knew her from yoga.
Yes.
I knew her as a police officer.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're in Manhattan or Long Island?
I work at JFK with the Port Authority Police Department.
Oh,
I ported over from NYPD to
wow, very nice.
Port
Great
Authority.
job.
Every day, yeah. So
Terrific.
I'm
So
7 years on the job now. So still
you guys are
active.
dating 7 months?
Well, it was meant to
Yes.
be. I mean, I didn't even have anything on my profile. Like, it just, everything happened the way it did. And we even went somewhere, whether you believe it or not. We went to the Conjuring house, and we're horror people. And we went to the actual house where the Conjuring was filmed, or like actually done, what happened.
Con- you
And
know what?
the
This is
psychic-
karma.
I know,
This
the
is-
psychic woman, like, we were doing this tour and everything, and she started telling us things, and she pretty much said, like, our souls were meant to meet, and
That's
I believe in
beautiful.
that.
Well, we're going to be
connected.
following you guys for
We're gonna
sure.
have to follow you
But if
now.
any of our guests or any of our vendors out there want to donate a prize, we'll be bringing a few prizes to your event, and we'll
Yes.
have a little raffle for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just excited to see everybody, and I just want to keep on
But we're
living.
going to try and get
really.
at least, I'd say 20 people from our group.
When is
And
the
then-
event?
June 8th.
June
June
8th.
8th, yes.
It's a Sunday.
Mhm.
So hopefully you guys will come.
We're gonna come, and then we're gonna go to the Babylon Chorale concert, which
Okay.
is the same night.
Oh.
And we're going to come see you on the 1st.
So now let's talk about that. Yes.
The
This is the
Breakfast
Babylon
Club.
Chorale. I'm also involved with them, and they go up to the Berkshires. Some
Ooh, I
people have
love
sung
the
in the Berkshires, so
Berkshires.
you know about
Wow.
the Babylon Chorale. It's been around for over 75 years anniversary
I used to
this
be with
year.
Babylon Chorale as well, so
Yeah.
we have something in common.
There you go.
We
Yes.
knew we were going to.
And
Yeah.
Debbie just got the solo.
Oh, what's the name of the song?
It's called Light. It's from Next to Normal. Oh my goodness, I can give you. We need some light. First of all, we need some light. It's the one I
Very
want.
pretty.
Ah, we'll be
Yeah,
there
that's a
too.
beautiful
Very
song.
pretty.
Right, local. It's at the Bayway Theater in East Islip.
Yeah, we always go there.
Yeah, so they had closed and changed ownership. So I had suggested this place to the Babylon Crowd because it's a real theater. There's like
Oh, it's
seats.
very nice.
Theater seats, not pews in a church. So that's where
It's
we're
a
going to
beautiful
go for the
place,
first
yes.
time. So it's only June 8th, but there's 2 showings. So we have to go to the concert. I'll be at my concert, but you can make both if you'd like to go. And I will dedicate a song to you in my show because
Okay.
I do it as a Disney princess.
Oh,
I'll be thinking of
yeah.
you.
The show at
we're
Don't
gonna
Tell
go on
Mama.
June
Yeah.
1st. Yeah.
June 1st.
Yeah.
That's a
I'll put-
spoiler.
Yes,
Spoiler
I'm
alert.
giving you a lot of spoilers.
A lot of information here.
So how do people reach you if they want to reach you? Like, if they say, I just want to talk to you, or I want you to sing at my daughter's communion, or whatever, how do they
Well,
reach you?
I'm out there. My website is my name, DebiToni.com, but you
DebiToni.com.
have to spell it correctly. Okay, it's on the flyer here. If you don't spell it D-E-B-I-T-O-N, I know you can't see because it's way, 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 way too small. In fact, it's so small I can't even see it. Is it even on there?
So DebiToni.com.
Yes, DebiToni.com.
And make sure when you call her, you say you saw her lovely piece on the show. Also, how do they reach you, Jennifer, if they want to reach you about coming or donating a prize?
Well, I have Facebook. You can
Or-
look up my name. Yeah, it's pretty.
Do
So,
you have a
Or
contact
go to
at
Whiskey
Whiskey
Res.
Reds?
You can go on Whiskey
That
Res.
we
well,
can
go,
contact?
but what's
They
your
have
contact on Facebook?
Just my name, Jennifer Lentini.
So you want to donate a prize, you send her a messenger.
Yeah.
Say, I'm bringing cupcakes, or I'm bringing a necklace, or whatever.
And I appreciate
And we'll bag it,
all.
and we'll help her that night with the raffles.
Thank you,
that.
Valentina.
Yeah, and who's the owner of that restaurant?
Well, it just changed over at owners. We have a new guy named Tyler. He's very nice.
Tyler, is he young or old?
He's my age.
Oh, so he's a young guy.
Yeah.
And
I
is-
forget how old I am. No, I'm always like everyone's my age, and I feel not that like that.
So
I'm
on
42.
that note, I would like to Steve to talk a little about his opera coming up,
Oh,
guys
Opera
have
Night.
to go.
Yes?
We go every
Love
month.
this.
Yes, every month.
Well, Opera Night Long Island has performances every month on the second Friday of every month. And what we're trying to do now is we're mixing our programs a little bit. We have opera, which can be a little bit heavy, as we all know, or it can be light, but we've incorporated now, aside from the opera, operetta, musical theater.
Ooh.
We could invite a guest, perhaps, to be on the Opera Night program.
There you go.
I'll speak with Isabella about that.
We
That would
have-
be really
we have
awesome to
clout.
have you on.
Okay.
Because I
Yes.
do all their work. So.
Wow.
We have
So
clout.
Opera Night, we just had a performance in May, beautiful performance where we did the Act 3 of Aida, and the next performance will be on June 13th. It's a full roster of singers, including a pianist, so you're going to have a piano solo during it.
Wow.
So we're, like I say, we're stepping things up and making things more interesting for opera audiences and for encouraging other audiences, other people to come and
And the
join
young,
us.
right? The young.
And the
Yeah.
young people, right?
Yep.
And a lot of our singers are young professionals who come and perform for us, for the audience, as a way of just testing the waters, testing out
it's,
something
you
new.
meet such wonderful people there. It's-
And you
I would
do
say
meet a
it's-
lot of very
after,
fun people.
After the event, you have a drink and coffee and cookies, and somehow you get a connection to something else.
Yeah.
This is like theater Long Island, which is so much less expensive than going into Manhattan, yet the talent is the same.
And one of the things that people are always concerned is that opera is in a different language. So you have French, German, Italian. So what I do is I'll introduce the aria, and then I'll say, okay, this is what it is in French, but this is what the character is singing about.
Thank you.
This is what they're saying. This is what's going on in the story. And it's about a 1-minute explanation in between each piece. So you're not left out in the dark.
Great.
About
that's
what
the
are they
nice
singing
part.
about? And that makes a difference for the audience
Because
as well.
as one that doesn't understand the language, when I heard what it meant, I got into it. But if I just watched it without knowing the English part, I wouldn't have gotten it.
Right, right.
So it's great for beginning people that want it. And then if you want to really sweep your date off the ground, they sing the aria right to the date.
That's right.
Okay.
We're open. We have a new program that's called Arias for Sale, and you can choose your aria and have one of our performers sing it for you.
That's something, isn't
Yeah,
it?
contact operanight.org.
And make sure you tell Steve and
As for
Isabella
me,
that you saw it on the show. We love them. We've been working with them
spot on the Long Island Breakfast Club.
2.5
Oh,
years.
look at that.
And we were just in the paper, Newsday.
Nice.
We get some nice
That's a
fan
beautiful
mail.
picture.
Yeah, and not only that, this man is a gentleman. And the clothes he wears, and if you ever,
Oh, there we go.
I'm
That's-
waiting to get invited to his
Wow.
house one day because he sets a table like it's for the Queen of England.
Thank you.
I'll be there.
Well, that's
Yes.
and there I'm wearing a crown for
Look
some
at him.
reason.
Yes,
God
how
knows
cute
what
is that? I found it. I always find the funny pictures, So,
Where's
anything
the
else?
performance?
Huntington, right?
In well, for the summer, there'll be the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Huntington, which is near Quandra Hall
Okay.
in Huntington on Browns Road. And in the winters, we're in St. Paul's United Methodist Church
In Northport.
on Main Street in Northport.
Both beautiful
6
locations.
months, 6 months split.
Really, really nice. And you just get there early because you got to park.
Yeah, that's the parking.
Yes.
There's always an issue with parking.
So, do you have anything else that you wanted
Oh,
to
you're
share?
pointing. Well, I did want to tell you that you said we should write a book, but I already did.
Oh, but there you go. And I didn't know this.
So I have
Jeez.
actually 15 books that
Oh,
are
how
finished.
beautiful.
4 of them are
These are
songbooks,
beautiful.
and I actually drew some of them. But of course, I have different artists. But that's a
Beautiful.
songbook, so you follow along. See,
Ah.
it's the sing-along songbook. One is about the seasons, which is Beauty's Always There. You Have Dreams in a Cookie Jar. That was the hit because it's about
That was on the back.
Accomplishing Your
Yes.
I
Dreams.
love this.
And there's a Good Night, My Sweet, It's a Lullaby, and This Much, which is about how much I love you, which was written because of my nephew. So I have 4 songbooks, and then I have a piano book series.
So do you ever have an event just for children and do this?
I've only done a few, like meet the authors at the libraries, but you know, when you're doing a lot of different things, it's hard to
It's too
stay
much at once,
focused on
yeah.
one thing. So
Do you do the graphics?
I have, I actually, that's so funny. Oh, do I have it with me? I actually draw the book, what I want
Okay.
to see, and then hand it to the
So
artist.
you give them the concept
So
and then the artist.
I've drawn each page with my own scrappy little, no, I don't have
Wow.
it, I left it inside. But yeah, so I do the layout, because the layout of a book, as you may not know, because it's different, because it's illustrations, you have to work around the centerfold, and so you have to
Gotta be
design
the
the book.
artist.
Exactly, so I have to do that for all of my books, because you want the centerfold to be special. In fact, like this book, I'll show the centerfold.
I'd like to
on
have
this.
one
concept
for
is
my niece,
beautiful.
can I?
Of course, I have one for you, Valentina. So this is actually me.
Beautiful.
Making magic. And so you can play these. They're on my website. The music comes free if you buy the book and you have the music. You just go to my website and click on it,
Beautiful,
and then
really.
you follow along.
You are a lady of a lot of talents.
Thank you.
Come with a lady with previous talents, adding more talents, who's
See?
growing with you.
Yes.
And who knows, I might be in one of your plays one day.
Okay.
I have a feeling that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know me,
am
I
too.
try everything, you know.
That's going to happen.
You're a natural,
I
Valentina.
just, you know,
Yeah.
I just like to try things.
I just
And-
want to go
Just
places
blend
and see
in.
things.
Yeah, and Jennifer now, you know, we're gonna be her
Support you.
along too.
Yeah.
So we're really happy that you guys,
You're inspirational.
really,
Yes,
really,
very
Oh, I just-
inspirational.
Not
really,
just me. I just
you are. You
But I
amazing.
do think you should write some of your
I agree.
experiences
I agree.
I'm gonna
down
hawk
for
you
other
now.
people.
I know.
It's
I will hawk you.
unanimous.
Nothing like writing a book.
You're an
You
example,
don't write a
truly.
book to make money. You write a book to change your life.
Wow.
That's what happened to me.
I love that.
It's yeah, I sell the books, but that's not about the money. It's about what happens after the book when it's published, and who you meet along the way. And then I wound up in film, and now with the film, who's going to be next? Something else. And volunteering is the key to everything.
Yes.
Because if you volunteer twice a month, just twice, those 2 days, you'll be having fun, you'll be meeting great people, you'll be learning something new, and you'll always be wonderful. And you might get a job, an extra little gig. And that's
And it's good for the soul.
the heart, the soul, your life, everything. And you're never going to be hanging out with anyone that's miserable when you're a volunteer.
Okay.
Those
there
are my
so
rules.
many people who need help that you can just volunteer, and it really doesn't take that much time.
Right.
A smile, a handshake, just being close to them, speaking with them, that all makes a difference. Open the shades and let some light in. You know, I
Right.
mean, many people nowadays especially need
And
that.
I bet you're a gardener, right? Because I saw pictures you're outside too.
Yeah.
This
Gardener,
man,
yes.
there's nothing he doesn't do. I'm telling you.
I could attest to that.
I wanna see his backyard.
Oh, I'll show you pictures later.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see it too.
Yes.
You're right. Like when I've been in the hospital in and out. That's what happens. It's like part of my life. But even when I was just in now, there were so many people that you never know who's gonna come in, and that's something. If you do know someone that's in the hospital or stuff, a lot of times they ask you, one like Grubhub gift cards are the best because if you don't want hospital food, and you can send it there, and as long as you're not ordering like bacon double cheeseburgers, they allow you to have it sometimes. But just when someone will come in, it brightens your day because your
Yes.
whole routine, you can't leave. And when you're in the CCU, ICU, you can't even leave really that room or that floor at all. So
Mhm.
just seeing someone and brightening their day that way, or somebody would send a little thing, or
It makes a big difference.
one of my friends still like sends me every morning like an affirmation or a nice text.
Your room was all Disney.
They made it all Disney because I was supposed to go to Disney, so they came in. I think they would be confused because they're like, "How? Like, are we on the children's side? Are we not on the children's side?" But they really like when I had to move from the ICU to the other room. I had all these. We had Peeps bunnies. I had Easter eggs, little Disney characters for my friend, a bunch of stuff, and they made it homey. So just like little things
Well, this
like
is
that.
really terrific. Really, really terrific. So, you know, let's end the show on like, we'll give someone some advice today because what you're going through, but you're always so positive. So let's give the fans a piece of advice today.
Well, I'm
about
gonna
what they're
use
doing today,
something
tomorrow,
that
or whatever.
My dialysis nurse told me. always said a lot of people come in and you decide how you want your dialysis to go and how you want it to be, but she always says, don't block your blessings. So I believe that. Don't let something sad or anything else kind of come in your way.
That's a
Just
good one.
enjoy
Don't
your
block
day.
your blessings. How
Yeah.
about you?
Make a wellness call. Call someone that maybe you haven't spoken to in a long time. Maybe you've just met someone who is going through a little bit of a rough time. Make a wellness call. It doesn't take that much time. 1 or 2 minutes. You just say, hi, was thinking about you, checking in. It's my wellness call to you. All good? Great. Fine. That little inspiration during the day makes a lot of difference.
I say, go buy the boots. Put on the boots. Wear the boots. Live the boots. Love the boots. Have a great day.
And mine's similar. Go for your dreams, because you're going to go for your dreams whether you like it or not. They're going to haunt you if you don't go for your dreams. So do it now, no matter what anybody says.
And mine is, it's never too late.
True.
Very good.
Thank you.
True. Well, on that note, guys, it's going to be that time soon.
Is it?
What do you think?
Well, thank you to all our guests. It's a pleasure working with such terrific people today. I want you all to have a happy day. We all want to have a happy day.
Jen's going to ring
And
the bell.
that's a wrap.
And that's going to be a wrap, guys.
Don't forget to watch, like, and share. And thank you to all our fans watching. We'll see you next week.
And everybody's going home with chocolate chip cookies and Italian bread. Because we break bread on the show every week. And next week, I'm going to be at my grandson's graduation. So guess what? You're going to see a repeat.
Hey.
Because I
Congratulations
have to
to you,
go. And he is 18. And I can't believe they moved to Maryland, 15 years ago. And he grew up without me, which I'm very happy about. But he is getting some awards, and we're so excited to go. And this show is great. Anybody, you need anything, call me, call Bobby. It is a wonderful place. How do you like the environment?
Love it.
Love it.
Lovely.
It's so nice.
It's
Yes.
amazing.
There's
The
that
facility
one
is amazing.
person that doesn't walk in here that comes back. Because, really, did you have fun, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You're going home with everything in your pocket. So what's better than that? And you get to eat, drink, and be happy.
Yes.
Correct.
And on that note, God, anyone else have anything else to add?
I just want to thank you so much.
And
for
we're
having
going
me.
to the show. Everybody, go.
That's right.
Here's the
Remember,
show
tomorrow
again.
night,
Don't
Don't
Tell
Tell
Mama,
Mamas,
May
7
16th.
p.m.
Yes, May 16th, 22nd, and June 1st. And I'll see you guys there. on
And June,
1st.
and then we're going after that to Jennifer's event, and we'll be showing it all week. And look, let's have a ball both nights.
Yes.
Yes.
And give us a little tune before we shut down.
Oh, let's see. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring her in a cloud. Everybody says don't, everybody says can't, everybody says wait around for miracles. That's the way the world is made. I insist on miracles. If you do them miracles, nothing to them. I say don't. Don't be afraid. What about everybody? Never mind everybody. What about you? Don't you say don't.
Great.
That's what I call a pattern.
I can't wait. Really. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week.
All the best, everyone.
All the best. Don't forget,
Thank you.
we'll be here in 2 weeks, but we will be here next week. You'll be watching a great show that you missed, maybe. Thank you, Bobby. You want a show? Call Bobby. Call Valentina. We'll set you up. You will be surprised at what you will see and how happy you will be.
And we are glad that Valentina is on the mend and
Yeah.
she's back in the saddle.
Voice is back.
Voice is back.
Sound good, babe.
And everybody, don't forget, drink that wine, buy those boots. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy from all of us.
From here.